This is Justin Amazon on Wednesday, April 4th, 2018. And I've got the chart up for the pre-market this morning. Taking a look at a new low that we put in on the pre-market, taking out the 1355 price that we've seen hold the last 2 days. And this morning, it looked like we were coming right into it at open for a possible rollover, trapping anybody who bought from that large candle we were looking at yesterday and were buying up here. All those folks looked like they're about to get stopped out if they bought anywhere late in the day, even anywhere in the last 2 days off of this low. And that's actually possibly what happened. Some selling here right as the day opened up, and then it just rallied hard. Very large candle opening up the day, taking out the pre-market high. Too quick to get into unless you're just ready to buy at this price, which some folks must have been ready to do. We had the squeeze firing pre-market to downside that obviously got stopped in its tracks, moved up. With such a quick move, we had some quick selling, some quick profit taking, some more buying, and a lot of upper wicks in this space. Didn't really start to consolidate until another, about 20 minutes had gone by in the open, and got a smaller candle here. Still quite a big range. I think there was around, $7-8 on that range, and then got an even smaller candle, not quite completely inside, but still a consolidation candle, and a good place that, okay, we've consolidated. We had this quick run up. Now we've consolidated. This would be a good place to go long above the high or go short above the low. But so far, everything on the day would be looking bullish, more bullish than bearish. The low is not taken out, actually held here. And this is a nice pattern of just having the body of these candles being really tight in this range, actually for these 4 candles. So again, another 20 minutes of candles with some lows down here, some highs up here, maybe up here above 1375. Either way, you've got a pretty small range to set a trigger and a stop. You could do that with the shares or do it with options if you're far enough away. So a couple things you do to play this, but then it starts to get a little more bullish looking, with this looking to go up a little bit more. Still haven't gotten above the 1372, 73. Your stop could still work down here a little bit, and the 1364. And then through a wick up, more selling. It just looks like, okay, this is ready to go, but wait, we're going to pause and just build up some more momentum, and consolidated so much more. Now it looks like it's going to roll over, and took out the lows here. Okay, maybe come back down to 1355. It looks like it's not going to break up, go up any higher. I didn't really see any level in here other than maybe the high or the low of the neckline here that it retested and was rolling over from. This would be maybe the point of this consolidation right in this area here. That would be that high. So you could see this as, okay, ignore all this and say, okay, now we actually are below. We're playing out what some thought should have happened here, that we retest again into this range and roll over. Now it looks like maybe we're getting that rollover, but wait, didn't we just rally out of that from this price? This same exact price is holding as the low through here. And so that same price, what if we rally from here? What if we bounce from right here like we did yesterday through a small indecision candle, a tighter range than some of these in here. This one about $5-6 on that range. Let's see, the high, the low, yeah, about $5-6 there, and a good place to get in bullish. And we started to actually rally off this same price that we did yesterday late in the day, and didn't come all the way back down to 1355. A great indecision candle. This place here looking like it was going to go bullish. If you waited for the close above on a 5-minute, you weren't triggered in. If you got in on that, you were probably stopped out. Had another chance to get in going bullish from a little bit lower price. Maybe you're ready to take some profits at this high here. We've got the squeeze forming, going bullish. So we break bullish out of these two tight consolidation candles right at a known support from the previous day. Now we're retesting back into that same level, holding on the exponential moving averages. The squeeze is still consolidating here, still forming here. A little bit of bullishness coming in on the squeeze, bullish momentum, and we keep getting this retest and then rally, a retest, and then a little more retest. It's just like it didn't want to go. And I think I saw it at this level. It's like this could be a great place. This totally looks like a retest down into here. I was hoping for it to come down a little bit further because of the 1400 call I was looking at. The price down here was about 870 on that, and the price up here was around 10. And I really wanted to get that risked under $1, under $100, and it didn't quite get there. If this had come back down a little further into maybe 950, I probably would have taken the trade 950 by 850 down here. But as this was after that candle, a larger candle, larger volume, looking like it was, trapping anybody who shorted here, this would have been a great place to buy with a stop even below that candle on the option. Maybe not gotten it down below this one, but should have gotten in at 10 by 9 even. That 9 would have been somewhere down in this range here instead of the 870 down here. Maybe even below these, I'm not sure. But had I got in there, what we see is what happened next is we actually rallied hard out of that and came right up into the 1388 price. Actually overshot it. Once we got through it, now you're into the closing range of yesterday's price. You're into the previous high on the day from yesterday into this range where you'd expect it to overshoot, come back, bounce, come back, maybe roll back over like this, like it did yesterday, and around that price. And that's actually what happened. So we kind of rolled back over to the 1388, came through it, retested it, and then we actually came back down a little bit. And so this actually played out very similar to yesterday from the high here. Yesterday's candle was 1393.15. Oops, sorry, that's 1397.96. The high on this one was 1396.67. Did I just read the wrong candle again? I did. Sorry, 1397.89. And this one was 1397.98. No, 96. Wow, I should just delete this part out of the video. That price is 1397.96. This is 1397.89. So that's 7 cents off of yesterday's rollover price before it had that rally. And that's the same, 7 cents off, same price that we had a rollover, and then the price sank down, chopped around a little bit on its way down. Very similarly, didn't come quite as far here, chopped around a little bit more, stayed a little bit higher, and then just continued on its way up right into 1400, where it rolled over a little bit again. Just these prices, they play out so well, and then we rallied off of this into the close. So we actually didn't come quite as far down as we did yesterday, throwing this wick down in here. Even this, you could have played this as a double bottom, got in here as it's breaking out, or take the retest here and just hung on for this double bottom to rally up into the 1404 price, or even, if you had hung on into the close up to the 1415 price. So just looking at now this range compared to the options, you can see some of the moves that I could have had in the options prices. So this is that 870 price in here on this low candle. This candle, the low was 910. This candle, the low was 885 on the 1400 call expiring this week. And this is what so seeing it around here, this is where I should have just gotten in for 10. Maybe I would have gotten filled, maybe not. But with the stop somewhere around 950, maybe 1050 by 950, would have been below all these candles in here and didn't do it. Had I done it, or had I gotten in, on the breakout here, the stop below, that would have been a wider risk. But it rallied up into, so from 1050 all the way up to 2120, something like that. It would have been close to, maybe I would have gotten out up in here with the overshoot like we saw yesterday. Gotten out for 2050. That would have been $1,000. That would have been 10R on that move. Then the rollover that we saw yesterday happening again today. That's where you could have gotten into the put, the 1350 put expiring this week. And what was interesting about that is yesterday had the same low, the couple days before it had the same low, and so you could have been buying a put down at this $8 range. Back on, what day is that? Thursday or Tuesday, and then doing it again today down in this $8 range even. So it put a low of 7 on this candle. So maybe 750 by 7 or 750 by 650, anywhere in here, and ridden that up to we're going to put in some of these lower wicks, like this candle, put a high at 13, a low below a little bit more than 12. So it could have gotten in at 750 with a stop at 650, ridden that up to 12, say. So that would have been 4 or 5R, possibly, depending on how you traded that, with a nice tight risk on a known rollover location from the previous day. So some of these ranges just play out so similarly the last couple of days, because looking at the daily, we're just so range bound here, and we'll come back to the daily in a sec. So then from this place where we've got this double bottom, this call came all the way back down into the 11-12 range, and having missed it here, it came right back into the breakout point above this 1180 high, came right back into that range. So had you gotten an order in, not gotten filled on this candle breaking out, could have been filled on this being a retest, this looking like a longer retest, halfway through the day, longer retest back of these wicks, these highs, these selling locations. So what was old resistance broke out, new support, it held right here, bouncing on that candle. That would have been a great place to get out of a put if you were in a put and get into a call. If you didn't get in on this candle, you could have gotten in on this candle, which would have been a double bottom, even gotten in on the candle here at, say, 1250 maybe. So 13 with a stop down around 1150, something like that would have been $150 risk. So, or you could have taken it with stop below the low here. Let's see, this was 1250. So gotten in at 13 with a stop at 12, would have been staying above this or below this candle's. Would have been staying below this candle's low. Just a little extra range just to throw it in, looking for a bounce in this area that you just had happen here. So in this case, we retested it once, didn't retest it again. Came into here, retested this level, which is really, really close to these candles here, but didn't get much follow through. In this one, you had a little bit more follow through, and then the second retest of that area after putting that bottom. So this being a nice consolidation, broke out, retested into this range, actually came a little bit below it. The low here was 1377. The low here was 1377.35. So you actually put in a slightly lower low here than you had on this very small 5-minute candle on the stock. So all that to say, you could have gotten in $12 or $13, or $12 or $13 on the option. Similar price to what was in here on the breakout, and this one actually rallied even further up into the high 20s, whereas this one would have been getting out around 2050, like we had said before. And you just see the value melt away on the put. It is a Wednesday, so if we're coming back down into the 200 this week, it's got to do it tomorrow. It could do it Friday, but then some of this premium would come back in. We're back down into the lows here, like we saw early on last week on Tuesday when we were just starting to move bearish towards that. Let's see, is it this one? This day? Yeah. We're just starting to move towards this price, the 1350 price, but then just halted it the last few days, holding the 1355 price area in here. So the moves today were on the bullish side, on the moves from in here. And this is just a great consolidation, breakout, retest, consolidation, small in here, and breakout, retest, short term, and never really got a bigger retest. Got a retest into 1388. Had you been buying here after having, this move into it, this move, and this holding, you could have, this is a similar, let's zoom in on this, having this candle bouncing off of today's previous high, or opening high, and then a nice small bearish candle, spinning doji candle here, spinning doji candle here, breaking out bullish. This, what we have here looks really similar to what we have here, with a bounce, spinning candle, a rally, a retest, and a bounce, spinning candle, rally, retest, and a bounce. It's just the same thing repeated after even two candles here, two candles here, two candles here of selling. All these candles, two candles, two candles, two candles, two candles. There are so many candles in here on the 5-minute that were just playing out that way. I think, okay, in the morning we had 3, 3, 3. But again, on our way up, we've got 2. Coming back down, we have 2, 2, 2. With, that was the most selling we had, was just 2 or 3 candles, 10 or 15 minutes of selling. And the rest of the day was just bullish candles, with a lot more of the bullish candles in between. So if we take a look at that idea on previous days in here, so even yesterday, you had a lot more bearish candles, a few bullish candles rallying back up, a lot more bearish candles back down, a few more back up. Even this monster candle had the retest, and then only 3 more bullish candles. They just moved much further along. So yesterday you had 3 bullish, 2 bullish, 3 bullish, 3 bullish, 2 bullish, 3 bullish, not moving much, 1 bullish, 1 majorly bullish candle, 3 large bullish candles. So it's just an even mix of bullish and bearish moves yesterday, and then today you just had so many more bullish moves. Even on the way up on this, it was looking like people were trying to sell, holding this below 1388, trying to sell it below that, and then it just rallied through, retested, and bounced. As long as you were setting your stop below some of these lows on the bearish candles, you could have just kept moving your stop up, maybe gotten stopped out on this one had you been riding it that way. If you had just been getting out at pivots like we saw yesterday, the trade would have worked. So I got to be ready with my broker the next time. Seeing some of these moves and not getting in them was disappointing for me, and I want to be able to capture those. So take a step, look back out. I did say we'd come back over to the daily. So I was zoomed out here just looking at the last time we came close to the 100 simple moving average. We got pretty close here today, about 20 points. This price in here yesterday and today on this simple moving average, yesterday was 1328, today was 1331, so it's moving up pretty steadily. But the range that we saw in here, the last time we had a close below that price was actually this candle that closed at 1327. So yesterday we actually closed, with the close we had yesterday, we actually closed the moving average above that price. And this, I think, will be a key level in here because we haven't had a close below this area, even below this exponent, this simple moving average, since prior to this gap. A retest gap that retested here, retested here, retested here, and now we're holding as a previous resistance, new support, previous resistance here, new support here. We didn't have a close, so I'm going to call it new continued support. And if this continues to rally there, it'll be much more substantial support, just this gap. And so this gap, I think, will be key. It was not a shaved bottom, but it was close. This was not a shaved top, but it was close. The close on this was 14 cents off of the high. So, really, really close there. But then retesting during the day on these candles, just not getting the close below that makes it more substantial. This candle closed at 1339.60. The low on this one was 1337.34, and we've held above those. We haven't gotten into the 1340s or 1330s in this recent pullback. One candle can change everything. We could come back down. We could have so this pattern of bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish didn't continue today. We had a bullish candle today. If we have a bearish candle today, tomorrow into the 100, it's still a great place to hold support, hold this support area and look for a bounce. We'll see what happens tomorrow, or we could continue to rally up, very possibly into the 1455 area here on these highs. And then the next target would be the 1368 price here. If we come back into the 5 minute, this looks much more like a distribution in here at an old support or some support area that because of that gap. So the next resistance is the 1450s up in here where we had these highs. We could easily continue that up in the morning pre-market and then sell back down, or during the day sell back down and retest. It would be great to see a retest down to the low 1400s where we're getting into today. If we rally up and then roll back down, because that would really look like looking at the 30 minute, that would really look like this multi-bottom here. It would look like a retest of this range, either into 1388 or 1404, and then a bounce from there would really play out well, similar to how we came down in here into 1388, pushed through it, came back up, made a similar high, and then we have been hanging out below and in this range the last 3 days. Definitely consolidation, definitely a accumulation area, and we'll see which way it wants to go with the rally here. It's definitely possible to continue higher tomorrow. Whether or not it'll happen pre-market or at the very open, need to be nimble, or if it'll happen during the day. If we have a pre-market sell-off, from the close and then just kind of chopping after the market yesterday to opening this low, it looked like we were just gonna go lower, and then to have that rally. This was actually a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. Let me switch back to my 5 minute chart here and my daily here. This is actually bullish. We made a new low and a new high today compared to yesterday. This could be a Morningstar reversal pattern. Bearish, bullish, bullish on these candles. Very indecisive here, looking like a bullish engulfing here. It didn't mean we made a new lower low. Didn't mean we make a new higher high on the day. It could continue, could consolidate and have a smaller candle inside, coming back within the ranges we've got drawn in. Anything could happen. So we'll see where we get some consolidation tomorrow. The consolidation we have in here, just look to buy or sell off of a known resistance or support, because that's been playing out really well. Even the consolidation here, this is not the place to short. This would be the place to short, where you have a wick that comes up into the similar wicks, the upper wicks here, and starts to break down. This would have been a great place to take a little bit of a bearish move. You get out of it here as you form these, because now you're contending with your open price. You've got a target not too far below, so it doesn't have much of a risk reward. This is not the place to go short. This is a place to consider going long, and you could do that breaking out through this candle, or waiting for it to pause and confirm that you're going to continue bullish with that candle, or with nice enough pullback on the option to set a stop down anywhere in these, which you knew that was a good place to do it because you're trapping folks here. So this was a place to get in bullish. This was a place to get in bullish with that retest. This was a place to get in bullish. This was a place to get in bullish. Any of these that were retests of these smaller candles, a retest of a neckline, a retest of a previous high that broke bullish. These are things that are pivots that we just need to be capitalizing on. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all for Justin AMZN tonight.